You do it. Hey, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm well. Good
Yeah,
morning from
good.
LA.
Yeah, no, because I was pre-prepped for this interview that we would be like hours behind each other. Well, I mean, we're forward to you now, so it's like 4:30 on our side in the afternoon.
Right. Yeah.
What time is it over there?
8:30
Eight.
a.m.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So, so you really got like an early
But
start.
it's all good because now, I'm with Sony out of Germany and Colombia and the UK, so all our calls are in the morning. So I've become a morning person. I never
Right.
was a morning person.
I was just about to ask that.
Person.
Like, have you always been a morning person? But it seems like you've never have been.
No, no. But it's all right. We're now it's normal now. So
Well,
I'm happy to be here. I
nah.
woke up.
Well, I mean, we're all happy to be here. I mean, considering this like really crazy time that we're living in right now, and it's nuts to think like even time is not even as important anymore at the moment. Considering,
I
uh,
know.
so how you been on lockdown anyway? I know like obviously things are lifting slowly but surely now, but it's been like 3 months with this whole craziness. Like, how you've been coping like during this time?
Yeah, man. It was tough in the beginning. I really didn't think it would be this bad or like last this long.
Mm.
Um, but uh I found a rhythm, and it's just like wake up, we do the early calls with the label and the team, and then get done whatever needs to get done that day. We've become really self-sufficient. I live with my boyfriend, who's also my co-writer and producer
Yeah, we're going to talk about him in a
for
little
all the
while.
music. Yeah, so we've become a little production company over here. Like the quarantine started the week that I had all my official photo shoots scheduled
Oh
for the
wow.
project, like to do the cover, to do, press shots, and obviously all of those got canceled. So we were like, well, we're going to figure this out. And so we worked with our creative director virtually, and we shot everything ourselves. So there
S
was that too.
because we've been speaking with a lot of artists that I mean, luckily for you that you've had your single. Is it how do I pronounce it? Is it Páme Páme?
That was really that. Yeah, Páme Páme.
Bam.
It's
Oh, it's more like the subtle. It's not like a harsh P. It's more like the bame
yeah,
bame.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, awesome.
Great.
I needed to get all this right before I came on. I didn't want to sound like I was being a twat with not knowing how to pronounce it.
It's
So I tested
all
that
good.
this morning. Um, as I was saying that with with your music video, like you were lucky enough to have done that before lockdown. I mean, besides like the promo shoots that you had planned for it, were there like other plans in terms of like new
Oh
sort
yeah,
of music videos and releases? Like what was the process in that?
yeah. So the release was supposed to be April, the end of April, and we
Mm,
were supposed to go to Germany and go to the UK and go to Greece and travel around to any other territory that made sense and do the radio,
mm.
live little acoustic performances and everything. So all of that got canceled, and the release got pushed back to May 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And um, yeah, and we just kind of did everything virtually. Like we've figured out how to do like live acoustic, like decent shows from our living room, which we've done a couple showcases and everything. Um, so yeah, it's just you just got to be ready to adapt and be ready for anything. Like it was definitely disappointing to not be able to go to Europe, but at the same time, thank goodness for Zoom. Like I've been able to meet people virtually, and we just got to do what we got to do. And when all of this blows over and the world is healthy and safe again, I look forward to traveling and doing it the original way for
I
the
mean,
next songs.
no, I'm glad that you said about adapting because that's everyone in the whole entire world has had to adapt, and I mean for
Yeah.
me, originally I wasn't even going to consider doing interviews because it's not on a face-to-face basis, but then realizing with technology there's so much you can do and still be able to, you know, whether it's music or whether it's interviews or whether it's, you know, creative projects in any sort of field, there are still ways to work around it. So, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how personal it can feel. Like, I feel like we're in the same room because you are in my room. Like, your energy is in here. But it's really strange that you know, I'm getting used to doing like Instagram lives. And like the week of the release, we did a Páme Páme party on my Instagram. And I was kind of like, I don't know how this is going to go. We're just going to wing it. But it ended up being so much fun. And we were just like blasted the song over and over and over again. It was the next day after it came out, and like had people join in and like dance virtually. And that's really what it was. It was like people joining in and we're like, hey! And everybody was like it really felt like the people that would join in, because they were dancing where they were, I was dancing where I was. Like, it had the energy of a real party, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I remember one of my good friends had a birthday. It was I think back in April now, and literally the first time of doing like a Zoom party, and I was thinking like, oh, how's this gonna run? And she made it absolutely clear to me that you cannot not dress up. I don't care whether you're in your living room or we're going out. So literally, I had to make the effort. Like even now, right now, I'm in a t-shirt and a cap, but the rest of it, I've got like my my bottom half, because with these Zoom calls, like you know, you only see so much. But like, you know, my friend was saying, you have to make all the effort to do it. And you know, I had like a couple of beers and kind of made it authentic that I was going out and having a couple of drinks, and then afterwards I kind of passed out. So it's kind of like trying to adjust to it being a normal go out party.
Yeah, I love that you made it a dress up. That's so awesome.
Well, she forced me to do it. Like, I was going to be happy just doing the top half, but she insisted. But I big her up for that anyway.
I respect.
And obviously, you know, with lockdown as well, before we get into to yourself more, you know, what I mean, a lot of people have been, you know, doing different activities at home, like whether it be learning to cook or doing things that you know they've been avoiding because, you know, people have been too busy to do so. Has there been stuff that, apart from, you know, the musical element, that you've been up to at home during this time?
Definitely. I live with another couple too, so it's two of us in a house, and we've instituted family dinners every night. And it's like the most important conversation of the week / day. Like, what are we eating for dinner, and who's making it, and what are the ingredients and everything. And like, we eat very well in this household because we all really care. We're all kind of foodies and love to cook. And I definitely take pride when it's my night to cook. I usually end up making something Greek. And I've gotten like all my roommates used to feta cheese. Like, they've never eaten as much feta cheese as they have since quarantine. And then working out, doing like the Beachbody like online workouts every day. And also I've like continued my training, like my voice training and like dance training virtually too. So that's been interesting. I go to do my voice lessons. I do them in the car so that I don't like make weird noises in the house and annoy everybody, because I don't know if you've ever heard like
to make people think that you're a weirdo and all that.
Yeah, you have to do some really weird stuff. So I go in the car, and it's always a funny experience because there's people walking by, and I'm just like in the car, and I'm like, I hope they don't hear me, you know. It's been funny. It's been funny, but yeah, just, you know, it's become a routine. It's weird. Like, it's become a new normal. Like, every day, like, wake up, get on calls, do emails, schedule in, do a workout, make lunch, continue the day, whatever new project needs to be done, go practice something, and then like make dinner and eat dinner with the family, and like maybe watch some TV. Like,
and then like the routine seems to continue on that level.
Yeah.
Now you grew up in Crete. Have I pronounced that right? Is it Crete or Crete? How do I pronounce it?
It's it's Crete in
Crete.
English.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to be like super Greek about it, you could say Crete.
Crete.
Nice.
Crete.
You have a great accent, I
Uh,
gotta say.
I don't know about that. I mean,
No, you
my
can
accent.
roll your R's. You
Well,
can roll your R's. Yeah, that's impressive.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, but I mean, for me, for now, I'll stick to my my English ways of saying it. So you grew up in Crete. Were you born in Crete, and did you move to New Jersey later on? Like, how was that process?
So I was born in New Jersey, and
Yes.
then a month later, my parents put me on an airplane and took me to Greece,
Right.
um, to meet my family, and then they baptized me in like a famous monastery up in a mountain. So it's kind of funny, like Greeks joke around. They're like, "Yeah, you were born in America, but you were baptized here," you
Yeah.
know.
So the
And
baptism really counts.
yeah, they like really put a emphasis on it. But yeah, basically I spent the whole summer, and then literally every single summer of my life after that I would go to Greece for 2 to 3 months. So I
Mm.
would always spend 2 to 3 months a year. The summer months, like I would leave school the end of the like I rarely was at school for the last day of school. I would always leave early and go to
Mm.
Greece, and then I would come late
Okay.
and like miss the first day of school, miss the last day of school. And I would live on a farm with my grandmother, and she lived near this beach town too. So like during the day, I was doing all these like farm work and just being with her and hanging out. And then I would go to the beach in the evening, and then you know go hang out with my friends and party and stuff, and come back and do it all over again.
So were you always so you were born in New Jersey but moved over to Crete and were baptized. Did you go back and forth for majority of your life then going to New Jersey, or were there other places that you
Yeah,
went to?
yeah, yeah. Basically, I was in New Jersey for winter and spring, and in Greece for, well, I guess fall, winter, spring, and in Greece for the summer. Like
Okay.
for I've only ever missed 1 year
Okay.
not being in Greece. That was like it was really weird for me that summer to not go. And hopefully, I don't know, we'll see how things go this year, but
Hmm.
it's not looking too good right now.
Yeah,
So
because yeah, with a lot of people like very cautious of flying out, especially like even with stuff lifting with air flights. It's not as easy considering the
yeah,
pandemic that we're in at the moment. So, I mean, fingers
exactly.
crossed for you
So
that you get a chance to.
yeah, it's a little tricky. But yeah, I've always kind of felt Greece to be like a home. Like it never was vacation. Like of
Mm.
course it's summer and it's an amazing place to be. But I also like went to be with my family. And like when I was on the like we worked on the farm. Like there was no just like yeah, like made sure we did stuff. We had to work, and it was about like really spending quality time with our family.
Mm.
I'm really really grateful and fortunate that I had the opportunity to do that.
Mm.
um like some people send their kids to like camp in the summer.
Mm.
Like my parents sent to Greece, and it
Okay.
was really just like it was like an investment in our relationship with Greece and with our family there, because my dad was born and raised there. He didn't
Mm.
come to the US till he was so his roots to Greece are very very strong,
Mm.
and his whole family is still there. So yeah, so to me it felt like kind of growing up with a double life, because being in New Jersey was also like really close to New York City, so that big, fast paced, American, you're always in a rush, like
Mm.
always have somewhere to be and something to do, and that kind of life, parallel with my more like calm
Mm.
life in Greece, and being kind of content like sitting on a farm and
So it's like two
going to feed
parallels.
the sheep. Completely different, but
Yeah.
also being very content in both. And I couldn't do just one. Like people always ask me, where would you like rather live? Would you rather live in Greece or would you rather live in the US? And I'm like, I can't choose. Like
Yeah.
they're both like a really important part of who I am.
Of course.
But I would definitely prefer Greece in the summer. I'll tell you that. I would love to spend the rest of my life in Greece in the summer.
Speaking of that, if I were to come to Crete or even in Greece in general, because I haven't done as much traveling as I wish I would, the last time I traveled was to Toronto, which was 3 years ago. So if I were to come over to Crete, if you were my tour guide, the absolute basics of where I need to go, like where should I go? What should I do?
Okay. Well, you have to go to the city of Chania. It is one of the most, it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. And you'd go to the old port, which is, it's basically, they call it like Little Venice, because the Venetians actually used to occupy Crete at one point. Don't ask me the date because I don't know.
Okay.
But the town now is like all these little like alleyways and like beautiful like reds and yellows, you know, and like orange colored like buildings, like really, really beautiful right on the water. And also the food's just amazing. The nightlife is incredible. You can just be out all night. Like you go to dinner at like midnight, you know what I mean? And that's normal. And then you go to like the club around like 2, maybe 3. That's when it's like really full.
Okay.
And then you just stay till like 8 in the morning and then go get some food and eat it on the beach. So that's like the city, which is an amazing place. And then there's this beautiful beach town about an hour and a half away, which is where my dad was born and raised, and where I really spent like my time. And it's called Paleochora.
Can I try and pronounce it? So if you repeat that to me again, I'll try my best.
Paleochora. Close.
Okay.
Close. It's Paleochora. The accent's on the first O. Paleochora.
Oh, I said that. Yeah, but I didn't roll the R. Yeah. Wait. Okay.
It's okay. No, that was good.
Yeah.
Good. You'll definitely get next time. But that's a really amazing little peninsula. It's a town located in a little peninsula at the bottom of like a mountain, and it's surrounded by water, obviously the peninsula is, but there's like a multitude of different types of beaches. So like if you want to be at an organized beach where they have umbrellas and all of that and it's sandy, they got that. You want a beach that's all like pebbles and stuff, they got that. You want a beach that's completely secluded and you can just go and be by yourself, they got that. And you can just like rent a bike and like ride along the coast and like pick your beach. They're all like small and each one is unique and really different. And the town is also really, it's small. And so me going there every summer, like you kind of know everybody. And like the bar, there's this one bar, Adios, which I was like, oh my God, the best cocktails. Like people travel there. People travel there or from around Europe to learn how to make cocktails from the owner. And you just, again, the classic, get dinner late, dance all night, go to the bakery. Go to the bakery that just opened, you know, and get yourself some fresh spanakopita or something and eat it on the beach with your friends, take a swim and go to sleep and wake up, you know, later.
Sold. You got me on it. When you got me on the beaches, you got me, especially the secluded beaches, you got me on the cocktails, you got me on the dancing all night. And because most clubs over here, like some of them will close at like, you know, like 1 or 2 o'clock earliest in the morning, sometimes even later. Just like that.
I haven't even gotten started yet.
But sold, you got me on that. Next planned trip, I'll see if I can come to Crete. Yep, you sold me on it, 100%.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And the other bonus is that it's like cheaper than most of the other islands. And it feels more like local. It's not as overrun by tourism.
Gotcha.
Tourists are always welcome and we're really good. You know, we're known for hospitality, but that's also another plus, more affordable.
All right, cool. Yep, you got me on that as well. You got me on that, so 100%. Yep, love you for that. So I've been looking into your name, and apparently, if I'm right in saying, in Greek origin, it means bringer of good news.
Yep. That's correct.
Right. So what I wanted to ask is, has there been a time that's ever stood out that you've been able to give someone good news? Like, I probably assume that's all the time, but is there a time that really stands out to you?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Oh, well, first of all, I guess while I'm thinking, I'll just say that I was named after my grandmother. So she's Evangelia and I'm Evangelia.
Okay.
So that's something I'm definitely really proud of my name and proud of the meaning.
Big up to your grandmother.
Um, yeah, she's the best. Like I don't go with my gut first instinct was when I was a teacher.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was a full-time teacher and one of my students like really was like nervous to perform in the talent show.
Mm.
And she like sent me an email and she was like, Miss Sarakis, that's my last name. She was like, I really want to perform the talent show, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Do you think you would sing with me? And I didn't answer. And like the next day when I saw her in class, she was like all nervous and really shy for having sent an email. And like, I was like, hey, can you wait after class? And I told her, I was like, what song do you want to do at the talent show? And she was like so excited about it.
Oh.
And we did All of Me by John Legend. And I played it.
Oh.
I accompanied her on ukulele, and it was really sweet because she was just like, was so excited because at that point I was also doing like music. Like the students knew that I did music, and she was always like, Miss Rockist, one day you're gonna be famous. I just know it. You know what I mean? Like she was one of those students who was a fan early on. So that
And,
was really, really cool and
and
special.
of course, obviously, I have to big up your student that said that that you're going to be famous one day because you're on your way to being that. And that leads me to your debut single, "Páme Páme."
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it this time. All right, I knew I'd get there. This is your debut single. Obviously, of course, I can imagine that music has always been a part, of your life. Like, firstly, tell us a bit about like what got you into music as a starting point for you.
Wait, can you repeat the last part that you just said?
Oh, I was just saying that obviously, your debut single, you got it out there. But tell us a bit about what it was like from the beginning, as far as like where did your musical journey start?
Yeah. So I always loved singing. I always like dreamed about being a singer and a pop star, especially when I was younger. I loved Britney Spears and I would dress up as like a singer on Halloween and have like that like microphone, attached that they 2000s and like make up dances with my friends. But I also grew up in an immigrant household, and it was really important for me to get my education and get a steady job and don't get my head. I remember my dad saying to me, like, don't get your head in the clouds. Like, you're not going to try and get a Grammy now. Like, get your job and like singing as a hobby. Just do that. And I was like, all right. Cause it also felt like a pipe dream. Like I was in New Jersey. Like I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make my way into the music industry. But, it just was something that was always, always inside me. And even when I was in college, I used to host open mic nights, and a lot of people thought I was in the music school because I was so involved in anything musical happening, but I was actually getting like my master's in special education. And then when I was a teacher, I kind of had a moment where I had a conversation with somebody who he's now my former manager, but he was one of the first people that like kind of was like, you know what, you could do this. And I thought of myself as an old lady sitting on a rocking chair, like 95 years old, looking back on my life and being like, would I be satisfied if I never really gave this a shot? Because I really love it. Like, I really love music. And like, I'm only going to live once, And so I started living a double life, like teaching by day and going into New York
A
City
lot of
by
artists have said
night.
that to me. They've always said they leave. There's so many artists I've been speaking with,
Yeah.
and they said the same thing. They live a double life. They do one thing as like a profession somewhere else, and then music always comes
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, always. And so like I would be like late in Brooklyn, like till really late working on something, and the next day like waking up really early and going and giving my best to my students. And then there were budget cuts in my district, unfortunately, problems with the education system in America, but they were insane budget cuts, and they cut like 30 teachers from my district, and I was one of them because I was one of the youngest. And when that happened, I was kind of faced with the opportunity to actually go for music 100% and not have to choose to leave my safety net and leave my job. It was like, oh, the universe is giving me an out right now. So I decided to not look for another job. And I went for music 100%. Luckily, my dad taught me well, and I had saved up money and went on unemployment. And I just kind of was like, all right, I'm going to the wild, wild west and see what the F happens. And then at that point, I hadn't really even experimented. I had always thought about it, but I hadn't experimented with incorporating traditional Greek music and elements with pop. It was a huge part of my life. I grew up like Greek dancing and folk dancing was always around this music, but I never really thought it would be, I don't know, it just never occurred to me that it could be cool to blend them. And then I met Jay Stolar, my partner, like a couple months later, and we avoided working together at first because we didn't want a relationship to be rooted in like our careers. We wanted to make sure that we're solid. And then it just kind of happened really naturally, and we got where we are today.
Okay. And I mean, in terms of the video as well, like it really like captures the essence of like what the Mediterranean is. And I know you just mentioned about the fact of like mixing like your pop influences with, with traditional Greek influenced sounds. Did you consciously think that because this is your very first debut single, well, first is debut, that you wanted to make an impact to say, this is me in essence?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I felt it was really important for the first visual to be so authentic and true to me that could show like people who are seeing me for the first time and who don't know me personally, like, oh, she's like really from this place. Like this bouzouki or this weird different instrument or sound that I hear is actually like in her blood like and from her life. Like I want to just do, I look forward to doing, other videos that are more like artsy and like super left of center and stuff like that. But I think as a debut and establishing who I am and why my music sounds the way it does, I felt it was really important to do something really authentic and show where I'm from. And I always like dreamed about doing a music video in Greece one day. I never knew like what it would end up being, but it ended up being like my grandmother's farmhouse and the town where I grew up and like real people and like throwing a real party and having people of all ages together enjoying and having a good time. That was really important to me too.
How did your grandmother, take the news as in, oh yeah, I want to do a music video in your farm? Did she take it well?
Well, unfortunately, my grandmother passed away
Oh, okay.
3
Sorry to
years
hear
ago
that.
now. So no, that's okay. But I think she would be so excited, and she would just be like, "Really? Like you want the sheep in your music video?" Like I think she would, one, be confused, and two, be really proud and super excited that I would be showcasing her home. But that's also like another reason why it's really special. Like that farmhouse, like I grew up there. That was my home. All like the scenes where I'm like, one of the opening scenes where I'm sitting on the balcony, like that balcony is so like, it holds so much depth and so many memories for me that like seeing it kind of, I don't know the right word for it, but just there in like in permanence in this music video and this piece of art is like really honestly emotional for me. Like I'm so proud
Mm.
to show it. And it was really cool for like my family. My brother was like, I never thought I would see that farmhouse look so cinematic, because we're just used to it being like a farmhouse,
No, not a farmhouse. And did the locals
Mhm.
know that it was a music video as well? Did you kind of talk with them, or
Yeah,
did it just naturally come and think, oh, it's a party?
no, I did tell them because they had to know they would be on camera. Yeah, I did a whole like, I did a Facebook event and invited everybody I knew, and I had like one of my friends who's a DJ, like be the DJ at the party so he can like play all the different kind of music. And then when it was time to do Páme Páme, like blast that and get people in it. It was at my friend's restaurant. So I got everybody, wine on wine on wine and food on food on food. So that by the time we started filming, everybody was feeling good. Cause a lot of the locals were also nervous. They were like, I don't know, like, what do I wear? I've never been in a music video. Like, what do I do? And other people was like, my dad wants to come, like, is that okay, or do you only want young people? It's like, bring your dad, bring your grandma, like bring everybody's welcome. So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, it's undeniable. I just wanted to briefly touch on this, where, for the past like few weeks have been emotional and intense for everybody. Obviously, I'm talking in relation to the killing of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests. And I've seen on your Instagram that you're very active in, lending your support to the cause. How have you been able to push that message forward and being able to let everyone know that, look, I'm here for you guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been heavy
Mm.
around here, and obviously even like promoting my music now, or being like, go watch the music video, like it doesn't feel right, on social media. And it's really important for me to say where I stand. And like, I know I'll never understand, but I stand with the Black people of this country. And me also, as a former teacher and with my education, like, I studied this stuff
Mm.
and have been kind of outraged about it. And I studied this stuff so that when I would teach my students, I could reach everybody and do my best to understand. Um, so yeah, I've just been trying to share resources. I've been trying to also confront myself and any biases that I might have, and like really like take a good look at myself in the mirror, the people around me, and try my best to have really open and honest conversations. And also, support my Black friends as much as I can, and just show them that, you know what, I'm here for you.
Mm.
Um,
And it sounds
yeah,
like,
but it's wrong. We have a big
yeah.
problem in this country. It
Mm.
is like about time for change, and it feels like this time we really might get somewhere,
Mm.
because it's like
100%.
worldwide and global, and I'm like all about it.
Mm. And I mean, of course, like, there's been a lot of like progression already in terms of, us standing up for our, not just with the Black Lives Matter movement. And I mean, even in London, we've had a lot of statues, a few statues and monuments that have been taken down already. And I'm pretty sure you would have seen it in the news. And
Yeah.
people are finally listening. And I know the catalyst was George Floyd, but now like everyone's paying attention. It's been widespread. So I'm glad there's progression so far, but I know we still have a long way to go. But we're fighting, and I'm glad that we're fighting for equality, and that's what we all want at the end of the day. So it's
Yeah.
all of that madness there. And just to end off, really, just on a lighter note, obviously, Páme Páme, you've arrived. So I mean, obviously, I would normally ask what would you be up to in the next half of the year, but with
You pretty much
lockdown,
know already. You know my routine.
it's moving the same routine. But I mean, musically, what are you looking to do next? Like, now that you have arrived, what are you looking to do?
Well, we have a few songs that obviously aren't released yet that we're excited about. and just kind of finishing them. I'm writing more music and really, you know, deciding what the next single is going to be, when it's going to come out. But the good thing is it's really hard to choose, and I think that's a really good problem.
That's a good problem to
So
have. Yeah.
I'm really, yeah, like it's tough. It's tough to choose what the next one's going to be, because we do all feel like we have some really strong stuff. So I'm really, really excited. There's a lot to come.
Nah, there's a lot to come. I can imagine. And have you have you recorded a lot of tracks like during the process of being in lockdown? And like, is there a lot of catalog that you think that you got that you could just like say like, right, let's go for that one for the next one? Have you got a whole catalog ready?
We do. Most of it we actually wrote before quarantine started, and
Right.
during quarantine we're kind of focusing more on like just supporting Páme Páme and the song, and again learning how to take all of these, you know, photos and how to do all this stuff and be like a production company.
Yeah.
But we have started. We actually next week we're going to do a little camp with the one couple that we hang out with outside of our roommates, and like we hang out at a distance in their backyard.
Okay.
So we're going to do I actually wrote Páme Páme with them. So I'm really, really excited because it's kind of been a while. But yeah, we have a catalog. We have a catalog to choose from, and we're going to have some more options next week. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I can't wait to hear, you know, what you got coming up, and it's nice to have, you know, there's loads of artists that have like a similar sort of taste, and we all know our sort of flavors. But I'm glad to know, and I've seen that there's something new and something unique in your approach to music, and I cannot wait to see what you got coming up next.
Thank you so much.
And I appreciate you I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could tell our audience where they can catch you on all the socials and what's coming up next, tell them all right here.
All right, so you guys can follow me at Evangelia, Evangelia. I always have to help people out with that sometimes. Facebook, pretty much everything. If you search Evangelia, you'll find me. Páme Páme is out. Go check out the music video. I'm so proud of it. I hope it makes you smile and brightens your day. And yeah, there's definitely more coming, and there also might be a remix to Páme Páme coming out this summer. So
any clues of who it might be with?
I can't say anything yet.
It's always the case. Always the case. You can't blame me for trying. You can't blame me for trying.
I can't wait for that.
Well, thank you again. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, I can't wait to see what you got coming up next, man. So this is Billz for Media Spotlight UK with Evangelia, the beautiful Greek goddess that is soon to blow up your screens even more. And we out of here. Peace.